After being abandoned by her boyfriend, she, 7 months pregnant, secretly lived in a Walmart store for weeks. Every night, before the store closed, she would hide in the restroom, waiting for everyone to leave, then secretly sneak out. Despite being pushed into such a desperate situation, she never lost hope. She'd flip through parenting magazines from the store, learning how to do pregnancy exercises. When hunger hit, she'd grab snacks off the shelves. After eating, she'd use the store shower and soap to clean up, and the camping gear section became her bed. To make sure she didn't oversleep and get caught, she set 5 or 6 alarms. Before the staff arrived, she'd carefully put everything back where it belonged. Then, she'd sneak into the storage room, wait for the store to open, and slip out, walking out like a customer. The town's park was her only escape. She wasn't a greedy or lazy person. Life just forced her into this situation. She kept track of every penny she spent at the store, hoping one day she could repay it. This girl's name was Novalee. Her dad passed away when she was 5 months old, and at 5, her mom abandoned her. This left her terrified of the number 5, believing that all misfortune came from it. So, she found a boyfriend named Willie, who was 8 years older. Although Willie didn't bring any bad luck, he did bring a child. Willie was chasing his unrealistic dream of becoming a pop star. He bought a second-hand car for $80, planning to drive to another state. Novalee made sure the car's license plate didn't have the number 5, thinking that if it didn't, no bad things would happen on the road. But what awaited her on this journey was yet another abandonment. Growing up without love, Novalee couldn't see that Willie didn't really care for her. His attitude toward her was cold, sometimes even mocking her to her face.
Wake up! You sound like a damn pig! Jesus, what the hell's the matter with you? And where are your shoes?
He blamed her for losing the shoe, but didn't care at all that she had taken off her sandals because her feet were swollen from the pregnancy. Novalee, feeling guilty, tried to make Willie happy, so she took his hand and placed it on her belly, letting him feel the subtle, magical heartbeat of the baby.
Feel that little bonk, bonk, bonk? That's where the heart is.
Couldn't prove it by me.
Willie's indifference made Novalee feel a little sad, but soon she spotted a Walmart not far away. She urged Willie to stop so she could buy a pair of slippers. After a lot of pleading, Willie finally tossed her $10, grumbling as he called her a troublemaker. As usual, Novalee ignored him and went into the store to pick out the slippers. When she went to pay, she was shocked to find that the change was exactly $5.55. A sense of dread suddenly hit her. Panicking, she ran out of the store, only to look around and realize that Willie's crappy car was nowhere in sight. All that was left was her favorite antique camera. Novalee felt like she'd been struck by lightning. Her eyes were filled with emptiness and confusion. Maybe she just couldn't accept the reality yet, or maybe she still held onto a tiny, fragile hope that Willie would come back. So, when a staff member asked if she needed help, she just said,
My boyfriend went to get the car fixed. He'll pick me up.
Novalee sat alone on a bench, waiting. She always tried to stay optimistic, never blaming life for her misfortunes, no matter how tough things got. Perhaps it was her optimism that brought her some luck. A nun, mistaking her for the daughter of an old friend, generously gave her a basket of gifts and an Aeschylus, a symbol of good luck. Before leaving, the nun warmly invited Novalee to visit her home anytime. Novalee thanked her, still feeling confused, but her immediate concern was finding a place to stay for the night. To escape the heat, she wandered aimlessly around the store. Just as the store was about to close, a sharp pain hit her stomach. She rushed to the restroom, and by the time she walked out, the store was locked, and she was all alone in the huge empty space, except for the gifts from the nun. A thought struck her. Maybe staying in the store with her child was the only way she could survive now. But Novalee, inherently kind-hearted, wasn't the type to take advantage of others. She made sure to keep a record of every item she used, hoping one day, when she could stand on her own, to repay the owner of the store. Thus began her secret life in the Walmart. One day, she didn't stay in the park as usual, but instead went to the town library, hoping to learn how to care for the Aeschylus, which had withered. There, she met Forney the librarian. Forney was knowledgeable, having been accepted to Harvard, but staying behind to care for her disabled sister. Neither of them knew it yet, but this meeting would change both their lives. Forney explained that the Aeschylus was an outdoor plant and suggested Novalee plant it in the garden. Following his advice, Novalee visited the nun's home and sheepishly admitted she hadn't been able to care for the plant properly. The nun, despite realizing she had mistaken Novely for someone else, didn't hold it against her. She welcomed her with warmth and kindness, even planting the Aesculus in the garden together. For the first time, Novely felt the warmth of a family and the kind of motherly love she had never experienced. She longed for a family like that, but she couldn't stay long. She had to return to the store before it closed. That night, a heavy rain fell. As usual, she curled up in bed, but suddenly, a sharp pain surged through her body. She quickly realized she was about to give birth. Despite preparing herself mentally for this moment, the panic overwhelmed her as the pain hit in waves. The baby was ready to come, and she stumbled through the aisles, trying to find anything that might help. The pain made it hard to stand, and when she looked up, she saw the number 5. The same dreaded number she had feared for so long. In a state of panic, Novely pushed herself across the shelves and collapsed. When she woke up, she found herself in a hospital bed. A nurse explained that, due to her giving birth at Walmart, she had become a media sensation. Reporters were waiting outside the hospital, eager to interview the strong mom. But Novely's heart was filled with worry. She had no money, couldn't afford the medical bills, and now had a newborn to care for. Not to mention, what if she was caught for living in the store all these months? What would happen to her child? The nurse comforted her, telling her that many kind-hearted people had donated money to help her and her baby. Even more touching, the store owner had forgiven her for her past actions and promised her a job once she recovered, offering her and her child a stable future. Then Novely learned that it was Forney who had saved her the previous night.
He jumped through a plate glass window to deliver your baby. Don't you remember?
That was him?
Through careful observation, Forney had noticed something was wrong and followed her to the store. There, he discovered that Novely was homeless and had witnessed the moment she collapsed. During her stay in the hospital, Novely received letters from all walks of life. Some were filled with encouragement and support, while others questioned and criticized her for having a child out of wedlock. But these voices didn't shake her unwavering love for her child or her hope for the future. Then, just when she least expected it, fate dropped a bombshell. One day, an unexpected woman showed up, her birth mother, the same woman who had heartlessly abandoned her when Novely was 5 years old.